Hello everyone and welcome to Questline and to another Dad Rant video. And this rant starts with a book. I've been reading The Modern Man's Blueprint by Paul Aiken, a guy behind Ask an Older Man. And early on in the book, there's a simple line that stopped me in my tracks as I quote, "Men like status." Not a long paragraph, not an argument, just that sentence. And instead of reacting emotionally to it, I found myself asking more important questions. What do we actually mean by status? Because I don't think we've thought about it properly, not as a culture, and definitely not as men. And by the way, I'll leave a link to Paul's book and Ask an Older Man in the description below if you're interested. Just want to give the man credit where it's due. And now, back to the point. We talk about status all the time. We argue about it, we chase it, we shame it, we pretend we don't care about it. But I'm not convinced we even know what status is anymore. At its most basic level, status means where you stand, and that's it. Your position within a group, not by how you feel about it, but where you stand in relation to others. And that matters because status has never been something you simply declare for yourself. Status is relational. It's defined by others, by a group, by society. Historically, status wasn't about showing off. It was about superiority. It was about orientation. It helped people understand where they belonged, what was expected of them, what responsibilities they carried. You could be born into status through class, lineage, or circumstance, or you could earn status through work, competence, service, or deeds. But either way, status came with weight. If you had higher standing, you didn't just get privileges, you got obligations. You were expected to carry more responsibility, not less. And that's the part I think we have lost, because somewhere along the way, status got hollowed out. In modern society, status has slowly been reduced to symbols. A big house, a flashy car, a certain lifestyle, large figures in the bank, or a large following on the screen. And suddenly, status isn't about contribution anymore. It is about appearance. We've taken something that once helped people understand their place and turned it into something that encourages endless comparison. And here's the thing, psychology backs this up. Decades of research showing that it's not just material poverty that damages people, it is perceived low status. How you feel you rank compared to others predicts stress, anxiety, depression, even physical health outcomes. When people constantly feel low in the hierarchy, their bodies stay in threat mode. That's not opinion, that is science. And it gets worse when status becomes material. Psychologists have shown that when people define success and status through money, image, and possessions, they don't become happier. They become more anxious, more depressed, more isolated, and less satisfied with life. So when we distort status into a game of appearances, we don't just confuse people, we harm them. And this damage doesn't only affect those at the bottom. Societies with large status gaps and visible inequality have lower trust, worse mental health, and more social aggression across the board, even among the successful. So no, this isn't jealousy talking, it is structural. And now let me bring the moral dimension, because this matters too. From a Christian perspective, status isn't sinful, that's a misunderstanding. What's condemned isn't standing, it is pride, it is ego, and it is entitlement. Scripture is very clear about this. Pride is warned against long before social media existed, and the principles is simple. If you're given much, much is required of you. That is the part we have conveniently forgotten. Status, rightly understood, implies responsibility. If you have influence, you're accountable. If you have resources, you are obligated. If you have standing, you're meant to serve. That is why Jesus didn't reject status, he reframed it. Greatness wasn't abolished, it was redefined. The higher you stand, the more you serve. And when that link breaks, when status gives privilege without responsibility, it becomes morally corrosive. Now here's something else we don't like admitting. Status isn't fixed. It should change. Your status as a child isn't your status as an adult. Your status as a learner isn't your status as a master. Your status as a single man isn't your status as a husband and father. If your status never shifts, you're probably not growing. But modern culture sells the opposite lie. That once you make it, you're done. That standing still is success. And that lie leaves people hollow. So when people say status is toxic, I disagree. Unexamined status is toxic. Status without responsibility is toxic. Status driven by ego is toxic. But status itself? Status is simply knowing where you stand and standing rightly, not above others, but among them. And if we want healthier men, healthier families, and healthier communities, we need to stop pretending status is either everything or nothing. It's neither. It's a tool. And like any tool, it can be used well or badly. That's the real conversation we should be having. Well, that's it for today. Thank you very much for listening. If you found this useful, leave a like, consider subscribing, and if you've got any thoughts and any suggestions, leave them in the comments below. And until the next time, stay strong, stay curious, and keep forging your quest line. Wishing you all well and good health. Take care. And cut, that's a wrap! Woo!